Harvey, I'm the one who actually brought the Chrisleys to the president.
That's right,
and
Alice.
in their petition, she talks really about what happened to her parents. She talks about the case. Now, that's what's in the actual petition, not so much talking about herself. And my children also fought for my release, so I can understand a child really wanting to fight for their parents to come back home.
You know, when Biden pardoned the January 6th committee.
Because here's the thing, Harvey's been stuck on that, y'all, the last 3 nights. That exact question. And I'm glad she answered it, and he's moved on. Good.
You know, there was a partisan ring to it, clearly. And with Donald Trump, you have Ed Martin, who is the pardon lawyer for Donald Trump, for the White House, saying no MAGA left behind. What does that mean to you, especially in terms of who gets pushed through and who doesn't?
Well, you can probably look at the list that went to the president. I don't believe those were MAGA individuals, but they are very grateful individuals who deserve the second chance. When these applications come in and I review them, I have to have an attorney, a trained attorney, who reviews them, pulls all of the elements, their sentencing report, any court documents, and it's very important for me to have their disciplinary from, their progress report. If there's been discipline, a lot of discipline in the prison where they would not be a good candidate. It's very important that they don't pose a safety risk, because I don't want to be presenting individuals who will become, I'll say, menace to society. I want to make sure that these are people who pose no risk. Many have aged out of criminality and have totally reformed while they were incarcerated.
I'm curious about the case of Larry Hoover, because
you don't want to hear about the reform and recovery, right?
Him from his federal sentence doesn't really mean freedom for him. I'm wondering if there was a conversation with either Larry himself or people representing him that he wanted to go. He's now going to be transferred to a state prison in Illinois. Was that something he wanted? Because I know he's been in solitary for a very long time in the federal prison there in Colorado. So what was the thinking behind that? Because to a lot of people it seemed like almost just sort of ceremonial, because he's not getting freedom. He's just going to go to a different prison.
You have to do this step, and you have to, in looking at Larry Hoover's case, it must be his freedom from the federal system, which was so deserving for him. This man has been in solitary confinement for almost 30 years, not having seen daylight, not having had human touch. I've been in close contact with his family, with his children, with his wife, and they wanted to see this step take place. This is not ceremonial. This is a step to the door. They're now working on hoping that the governor of Illinois, will have the same mercy that President Trump had upon Larry Hoover. His co-defendant, they're all out. His co-defendant, who was in federal prison with him, was given a commutation by President Biden. And I was told that when he was asked, what about Larry Hoover? He said, with a smile, let Trump do it. And Trump did it. President Trump, I call him the second chance president, because he's giving many a second chance in life that other administrations would not even consider. If you look at a man like Larry Hoover, who was 22 years old when he went in, you think about yourself at the age of 22. He was really a teenager when all of the things started with him. He was a community organizer. He was trying to get people out to
with
vote.
All the receipts,
it morphed into something else, and it became gangster disciples. And then he changed it while in prison to growth and development, and required that they have a high school diploma, and they started mentoring the young men. So still holding up a 22-year-old 52 years later is not only inhumane, but it serves no purpose to this nation.
Nope.
We are the United States of America, which means we're united with those who need a second chance. We're united with people from all walks of life. And this man truly deserves that second chance. So I hope the governor will hear the plea of not only his family, but the plea of the public to let this man go home.
So we're about out of time. I want to make a comment and then ask a compound question.
Okay.
The comment is kind of interesting because you said that one of the things you look at is to make sure that somebody doesn't go out and commit more crimes or is a menace. My question is, and it kind of aligns with it, you had an alleged kidnapping plot with these two people who were convicted in the plot against Governor Gretchen Whitmer. And Trump said yesterday he's seriously considering a pardon with them. And then I'm just curious about Joe Exotic, because people are talking about him too. So that's a compound question. But on each of those, how do you stand?
I stand that every person needs to be considered. If you are applying, that's your right to apply for your freedom. And everything is taken into consideration. I don't know about the ones who, you said, plotted to kidnap Gretchen Whitman. But the fact that the president is considering it gives me pause to know that he definitely has looked at the elements. And I'm pretty certain that at some point I'll see it.
Has he considered Joe Exotic pardoning him?
I'm not sure whether he's considering that or not. I can tell you, I personally, I've only been there, I'm in my first 60 days.
Right.
It's not come across my desk as of yet, but it does not mean that it's not in the White House. So I would consider Joe Exotic. Looking at the elements of his case, I don't know that much about his case, even though he's a very public figure. I try not to allow myself to be influenced by public opinion, but to look carefully at the elements of every element of that case.
Alice, you are
Alice Marie Johnson's
you are good.
Judge Alice Marie
That's
Johnson.
what I'm saying. Y'all were kind of trashing her last night.
Wow. Alice
Thank you. I'm true at this. Let's say that. I'm not just good at this, I'm true at this.
Fair.
All right.
Fair.
All right. Well, thank you so much for being with us, Alice.
So appreciate it.
Always a pleasure to
She's
talk
an
to you.
angel.
Thank you. Anytime. I'm pretty certain I'll be back because there's more to come.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
We will take that as an invitation. Thank you, Alice.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we are going to take a break.